This bloke today has been elected unopposed as Deputy Liberal Leader, but he's also the Treasurer. We're facing inflationary pressures based on spending. In New South Wales, there is a Fiscal Responsibility Act passed in 2012. Premier Mike Baird, who knew something about money, was the author. The purpose of the Act is, no matter floods, bushfires or viruses, government outlays must remain below long-term average expense growth. That is the law. That law has been broken not once, not twice, but 3 times by Dominic Perrottet as Treasurer and now Matt Kean. The budget that was brought down on June 21 in New South Wales took New South Wales on a $27 billion spending spree. Annual expenditure growth of 26.5%, in total breach of the Fiscal Responsibility Act. Net debt in New South Wales, $115 billion. Gross debt, $182 billion. And in a budget of $95 billion, the only savings were $32 million. Remember the $25 million for the flag on the bridge? Let me say this. There is no precedent in Australian politics for this level of extravagance. Gough Whitlam was excoriated in 1974 for a budget which increased outlays by 24.7%. People thought the record would never be broken. Kean, this budget, this year, 26.5%. Matt Kean will tell you he's the greatest. Well, he is. The greatest spender, the greatest public debt accumulator, the greatest waste of taxpayers' money in New South Wales history. I discussed all this some weeks ago with Mark Latham, who called Kean the kamikaze pilot of state fiscal management. $10 billion of your money allocated to green energy, because he's the green energy minister, to reduce global surface temperatures by 0.00055 degrees over a century. $10 billion, your money. As Mark Latham said, Kean has, quote, turned the New South Wales Treasury into an ATM for his green energy Photios dust programs, unquote. This man has been rewarded today unopposed as Deputy Leader. We've got rising inflation, rising interest rates, capacity constraints, supply chain blockages, and a full-blown international and domestic energy crisis, and a Treasurer with expenditure growth of 26.5%. $1.5 billion in subsidies for electric vehicles for those wealthy enough to purchase a $65,000 car. $3.6 million to refurbish the Treasury offices. Who's the Treasurer? Oh yeah, he is. To refurbish the Treasury offices where staff, because of coronavirus, haven't been for 18 months. As a politician, Kean is a manipulator, a backroom factional warrior. As a minister, he's taken New South Wales on an extravagant journey that it cannot afford. Well, the Liberal Party have made their bed today. Now they must lie on it. Come March, the Liberal government are history. They wrote that history today.